Hello Vibes Tribe, and welcome back to the I Am Healing course. My name is Edith, and I am so honored to guide you through this special practice. Today we have honoring sadness and grief, restorative yoga with affirmations. As we go on this healing journey, it is so important that we take time to honor and feel all of our emotions, because all of our emotions and experiences are valid and worthy of love and acknowledgement. We heal when we allow ourselves to feel. In this practice, we will lovingly connect with the emotions of sadness and grief, and we will honor them through gentle healing movement and uplifting affirmations. This practice is designed to help you heal and move through difficult emotions with grace and support. All you need is yourself, a yoga mat, and a comfortable and safe place to practice. Let's begin our journey towards healing together. Alrighty friends, welcome to our practice. We're going to begin lying on our belly. Though if this is uncomfortable for you to lie down on your belly, you're more than welcome to lie flat on your back. It's whatever honors you in this moment. So ask yourself what feels good and then adjust accordingly. So I'm gonna lower down onto the belly. We're coming into belly down Shavasana. We're gonna reach the arms behind us and just rest our right ear or left, whatever's more comfortable for you, on the mat. So allow the heels to fall out to the sides, completely surrendering, relaxing your entire body. And coming into belly down Shavasana is highly beneficial for soothing our nervous system. It helps to quickly bring down energy and begin to soothe our emotional needs. And so while we rest here, you can close the eyes. We're going to hang out in each pose today for about 10 to 20 cycles of breath. So really taking our time. And just know that as we move through our practice, if any emotions, especially emotions like sadness, pain, or heartache, arise within you, really allow yourself to feel them. If you need to cry, you're supported in that. This is all about healing, and we're not pushing any part of our experience away. We're welcoming all parts of ourself in and offering love to all of our needs, to all of our emotions today. And so as we breathe and rest in our belly down Shavasana, we'll repeat our first affirmation. It is safe for me to feel and honor all of my emotions. It is safe for me to feel and honor all of my emotions. And we'll just continue resting here for a few more slow and gentle moments. Let's take about 5 more deeply nourishing breaths here. Whether you're on your belly or your back, it's okay. And slowly we can start to very gently reawaken, so maybe wiggling the fingers. Bringing all of our awareness back to the body, back to this present moment. And we're slowly going to release our belly down Shavasana. We're coming into our half frog pose. So if you're lying on the back, gently guide yourself to lying down now. I'm gonna bring the hands in front of me and I'm going to stack my right hand on top of my left hand so that I can either rest my head down to the side like so on top of the hands, or I can rest my forehead on my stacked hands. So it's whatever feels most comfortable for you. And for half frog, all I'm gonna do is keep my right leg straight behind me as I hike up my left knee. So I'm taking my left leg at about a 90-degree angle here, okay? Straight line out from the knee to the hip, straight line down from the knee to the ankle. If you need to slightly adjust that angle for comfort in your body, I encourage you to do so. And then we rest the head back down. So you might feel the hip trying to grip here, trying to hold on. Give yourself permission to really soften through that left hip, letting your left inner thigh melt into the floor. And so in our half frog, this is a very gentle hip opener and low back release. And again, it really serves us by soothing the nervous system, helping to bring energy down, as well as giving us that release in the hips and low back, which are often places in the body that can hold on to deep emotions. Now, all areas of our body can store emotions, but I've definitely noticed that the hips can be a central point for that. So rest down into your half frog. And again, this pose is more about surrender rather than trying to get a really deep stretch. So we're just softening and resting. And we'll repeat the affirmation. I heal with curiosity, presence, and hope. I heal with curiosity, presence, and hope. And we'll rest here for about 10 to 15 deep breaths. And we'll take a few more breaths here. And very slowly, we're going to start to release our half frog. So we can just gently straighten that left leg once more, aligning it beside our right leg. And then I'm going to pick up the head and I'm going to switch the way that my hands are stacked. So bringing my left hand on top of the right hand this time. I'm going to scoot over to the left side of my mat, rest my head down as we come into half frog on the other side. So hiking up that right leg, you might not be able to see, but it's the same as the other side. I'm just creating that 90-degree angle with the leg over here. Really inviting that right hip joint to soften as my right inner thigh melts into the floor. And then resting my head down again. Surrendering to this hip opener and low back release. Let's repeat the affirmation. I am never alone on this healing journey. I am never alone on this healing journey. And again, we'll rest here for about 15 deep breaths. Just relax. And taking our last couple breaths here. We'll start to very slowly release the pose by gently straightening that right leg out behind us. And right away we'll transition into our next posture. So lift the head, lift the chest. Bring the elbows under your shoulders. We're coming into Sphinx pose. So forearms are parallel. I want us to really firmly press into the mat so that we can lengthen up through the spine, lots of space between the ears and the shoulders as we pull our heart towards the top of the mat. And we'll repeat the affirmation. I open my heart to healing, and I know that I am loved. I open my heart to healing, and I know that I am loved. We'll take about 10 deep breaths here. Just notice if the shoulders have started to creep up towards the ears. Just reintroduce that length through the spine for our last couple breaths. And on your next exhale, you can roll that heart back down to the mat. We'll bring the palms under the shoulders so that we can push up into our tabletop position. We're setting up for child's pose. So from tabletop, we open the knees about as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together. Now, if you're sensitive in the hips, the knees can be quite a bit more narrow. Just adjust according to what your body is asking for you. So big toes together, we'll push the hips back to the heels as we soften down towards the earth, walking the hands forward. We can rest our forehead on the mat. And the affirmation that we'll be repeating here is, I give myself time and space to heal in my own timing. I give myself time and space to heal in my own timing. And we'll rest here, fully surrendering for the next few moments. We'll take our last couple breaths here. And slowly we'll start to release our child's pose, walking the hands back towards the body, bringing the knees together. Come into our tabletop once more, so wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips. And we're just gonna move through a few rounds of cat-cow, so bringing some love into the spine. Inhale to drop your belly down. The crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Here's our cow pose. Exhale, reverse by arching the spine and letting the head drop between the shoulders. Again, breathing in, finding your cow pose. Heart opens wide. Breathing out, reversing. Go ahead and take a few more rounds of this on your own. Allow your breath to lead the way. And let's take a final round of our breath and movement here. And take your time, we'll meet back in our neutral tabletop, so a nice flat back here. And from here, we're going to come into another heart opener, puppy pose. So go ahead and We're gonna do our best to keep the hips over the knees here as we take a big step forward with the hands. So as we enter into the pose, if it feels a little too intense, you're gonna walk the hands back closer to the body. All right, so here we go. Take a step forward with the palms, and then I'm just letting my heart sink down to the mat. Forehead rests on the earth. And we breathe deep, feeling that opening through the chest, the underarms, and the shoulders. And we'll repeat the affirmation. My past does not define my present or future. My past does not define my present or future. And we'll just take about 5 deep breaths here. We'll take our last breath in our puppy pose and start to release by pressing the hands firmly into the mat, lifting the head and the chest, and then walking the hands back into our tabletop. As we move on, we're going to stand on the knees here, getting ready to come into a very small, gentle back opener as well as a heart opener, camel pose. So I'm gonna start just by taking my hands to my lower back here, okay? And you might stay there for the duration of the pose. And as you feel ready, roll the shoulders back, gaze upwards, and just very gently press into the low back so that the heart opens towards the sky. Little release here. I encourage you to stay here if this is deep enough for you. If you want to go deeper into the pose, we can come into the full expression of camel by reaching the hands back to the heels. Wherever you are, we'll take about 3 to 5 breaths as we repeat the affirmation. All wounds heal with time, love, and care. All wounds heal with time, love, and care. We'll take a couple more breaths. If your hands are on your heels, one at a time, guide them back to the lower back. Everyone go ahead and straighten out, and we're just gonna reach the hands forward as we come into a seat. We'll now bring the legs into butterfly. So soles of the feet come together. Give yourself lots of space between the heels and the pelvis here. If your knees are all the way up here, that's totally okay. Wherever you've naturally arrived, just embrace it. It's totally fine. We're gonna bring our hands to the lower legs or to the feet, whatever's accessible, and we're getting ready to take a forward fold. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we start to reach the heart forward, dropping the chin to the chest and hanging the head. And again, wherever you arrive into your fold, it's totally fine. You don't need to try to get all the way down. Just breathe into the place where you have arrived. Breathe into the stretch, into the sensations. And we'll repeat the affirmation. I am allowed to move forward and experience love, joy, and safety. I am allowed to move forward and experience love, joy, and safety. And we'll rest in our butterfly fold for about 15 to 20 breaths. Just relax. we'll take a few more breaths here. And when you're ready, we can start to slowly roll up through the spine. As you straighten out, take a moment to just roll the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath, resetting. And from here, we'll move on into our next pose. We're taking another forward fold. So go ahead and open the legs into your version of a straddle. That might be quite narrow about here. It might even be here, that's fine. Wherever feels natural and accessible in your body, you're gonna go ahead and go there for our wide-legged fold. Now lengthen the spine. I wanna say real quick, you can also sit on a blanket or pillow. If you're having trouble getting over the hips and you're experiencing a lot of curvature in the low back, you can sit on something and that will help. But otherwise, wherever you are, it's totally fine. We'll inhale to lengthen. Exhale, walk the hands straight out in front of you. Maybe you rest on the palms, or maybe you're able to come to the forearms. And again, we'll relax the head and we'll repeat the affirmation. I have the courage to handle and overcome anything that life brings me. I have the courage to handle and overcome anything that life brings me. And now we'll allow ourselves to rest in our wide-legged fold for the next few moments. Let's take a last few deep breaths here. And slowly, as you feel ready to release your wide-legged fold, you can press the palms into the mat to lift the chest and walk the hands back towards the body. Now let's very gently come out of this. I like to cup under my thighs one at a time to pull my legs back in. Now maybe you'd like to gently windshield wiper the legs side to side, finding an extra bit of release and reset. And then from here, we're gonna make our way to lying on our backs. So go ahead and make your way there now. And when we get there, we'll hug both knees into our chest. Give yourself a big hug, gently rock side to side. Get a nice massage across the lower back. And we're coming into our supine twist. So we're gonna drop both knees over to the right. And we're gonna extend our left arm out to the left side, seeing if we can keep that left shoulder on the mat. If you can't, no worries. Wherever you are, just breathe into your twist. Focusing on some long, slow exhales, really helping us to release any remaining tension. And the affirmation we'll repeat here is, it is now safe for me to be loved and celebrated for exactly who I am. It is now safe for me to be loved and celebrated for exactly who I am. And we'll just rest in our nice reclined twist. Let's take one last breath in our twist. Slowly unravel, knees come back through center. And right away, we're just gonna take our twist to the other side. So the knees will drop to the left, and the right arm will reach out to the right side. Begin breathing into your twist. See if you can guide that right shoulder down to the mat, but again, don't worry if that's not happening for you. Repeat the affirmation. I have come so far, and I am so proud of myself. I have come so far, and I am so proud of myself. And take your last breath in your twist. Start to slowly unravel, coming back to center. Hug the knees to the chest. And we'll take one last pose. We'll come into our happy baby. So reaching for the lower legs or maybe the feet. Seeing if we can keep the lower back glued to the mat and maybe adding a rock side to side. Combining a massage with our stretch and just letting the hips and the lower back completely release. And repeating the affirmation. I love and honor who I am becoming on my healing journey. I love and honor who I am becoming on my healing journey. And we'll take about 3 to 5 more breaths here. Slowly start to release. Give yourself one last big hug, maybe drawing the nose up towards the knees. Big inhale. And then exhale, release everything. Extend the legs out long in front of you and come to lying flat on your mat. We're coming into our final Shavasana, our last resting pose. Rest the arms and hands anywhere you'd like. Just let the eyes close as we surrender to this deep healing, to this transformation that we have committed to, that we have begun the process of today here on our mats together. And so just soak in the practice and take these last couple minutes to rest. Slowly and gently we can begin to reawaken. Maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes as you come back to your body in this present moment. Maybe stretching the arms overhead. And then take your time, move slowly and gently as we move to meet one another in a seated position. And so as we come into this seat, we'll bring the hands to the heart. And just gently bow the head, thanking yourself for showing up to this practice, for committing to your personal healing journey. It takes courage and love, and I'm so proud of you for showing yourself those things today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it is my wish that you continue to grow and transform and find more love on your healing journey, because you are so deeply deserving of this. Make sure to continue checking out the rest of the I Am Healing course to continue finding support. And always remember that you are so loved and supported in this community. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Namaste.